Continue, good now. We can run like 15 minutes. Maybe.
Hello, good morning to everybody. Hello, good morning to everybody. Are people hearing me? Yes, Brother Mohammed, you are most welcome. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Is everybody hearing me? Okay. I will ask the administrator to actually unmute, then we shall be communicating. Okay. This is good. Yes, your audios will be unmuted as we start. Otherwise, you're almost welcome. And thank you for joining the meeting. In a short while, we shall be starting. And probably as we wait for the others, I just want to take you through what our program will be like. I am called Okecho Lawrence Michael, the Director of Information and your moderator today. But as we wait for our other colleagues to join, I just want to take you through what we shall be going through today. We expect that by now everybody has logged in. Then we shall do an introduction where you will be able to tell us who you are, which institution you are from, and what you do in that institution. Then we shall get an opening remark from the Executive Director of Uganda Export Promotion Board, who shortly after the opening remarks, he will give us a presentation on marketing of services exports globally, what it means and what it takes. Then we shall have delivery of services globally, the modes, and Stella from Uganda Export Promotion Board will be taking us through that. Then by around 10, we shall have a presentation from ATIS, that is by Patrick, on technology as an enabler in services exports.
Morning, Yama. Has Richard come?
Yes. Then by around 10:25 to 45, we shall be looking at bottlenecks of services exports, the case of Uganda, and this will be presented by Brenda from Uganda Export Promotion Board. And hopefully by that time, we should be moving towards the end of the day's meeting. We shall be having a question and answer session after the presentation of
the export promotion Zoom meeting and listening because I'm going to URA with finance.
I'm listening to you.
Yes, but okay, sorry. I have another meeting, but I wanted to delegate my colleague to participate in this Zoom meeting.
For sure, that is great.
Yes, sir.
That is okay. Yes. Just trying to give a highlight of how our day is going to run. And then we expect to finish around 11:45, and we call it a day. Then we shall resume tomorrow, same time, where we shall be looking at one of the presentations we shall have from Uganda Shippers Council is taking advantage of group dynamics to market and attract buyers. Then we shall also have legal requirements to look out for in services export. In other words, patenting of services. This will be by Uganda Registration Services Bureau. And then what makes pricing of services exports different? In other words, services packaging. And we shall have Dr. Byarugaba taking us through that. Otherwise, you're almost welcome. Shortly, we're about to start. We can be communicating to one another through the chat. Something to note that is also important is while we are in the meeting, it is important that you raise your questions, and you can post them actually on the Q&A section. We shall be looking at them. And then by the time we come to the Q&A to manage time, I'll just be reading through the questions and asking the respective panelists or any of us to answer, as well as make a contribution. Once again, you're almost welcome. The program today is Services Exports, Companies Online Training. Dynamics have changed and we must respond accordingly. This is something new that we have started because of the circumstances created by COVID. But whatever happens, we must be positive, we must have a positive attitude, and we should be able to sail through. Yes. So in the next 5 minutes, we shall be starting. In the chat, you can chat with all of us. That is when you click down there, the person you want to send, you will either choose to communicate to the panelists, or you can choose to chat with the panelists and the attendees, or you could also chat directly to any of the members present. All you need to do is you click on the person or the group of persons you want to chat with. I know in the chat section, you can also post any other thing you feel you need to raise with the team. Right. So in the next 4 to 5 minutes, we shall be starting. Thank you very much.
Everyone is talking. Anyone talking? Yeah.
And
My speak.
Here it is. What is supposed to be. When you put it here, put it in this and any. But you jam your car, and then to put it. Move this into the body. Open up again.
Gendo wa checking.
Oh, this one, do you?
I don't know.
On board.
And you know, is they on the conference in Rob was listening when he said to me that I.
Oh, sorry. So good morning once again. We are starting, and allow me to take you through our program for the day. We expected everybody to have already logged in now. We shall have short introductions where you just tell us your name, your organization, and what you do in the organization or what the organization does. Then we shall get opening remarks from the Executive Director of Uganda Export Promotion Board. Shortly after his remarks, he will give us a presentation on marketing of services exports globally. Then we shall have delivery of services globally. That is the modes of service delivery or exports, which will be done by Stella from Uganda Export Promotion Board. Then we shall have a presentation from ATIS, that is by Patrick, taking us through technology as an enabler in services exports. After that, we shall have bottlenecks of services exports, the Uganda case, and this will be done by Brenda. And then after that, we shall have a question, we shall go to the question and answer session. But as we proceed, if you have any question, please post it in the Q&A section, or you could also put it on the chat, such that by the time we come to the Q&A section, all the questions have been captured, and then I will get the responsible persons or panelists to attend to it. Okay, so we are good to go. And I am now going to ask each of us to introduce themselves. I'm called Okecho Lawrence Michael, Director of Trade Information at Uganda Export Promotion Board, and you are moderator today. I will ask Ruagogo's representative to introduce. Hello. Yes, we are going to do our introductions through the video. Actually, you'll unmute and then you introduce yourself. So can I start with the Wogo? Yes, please.
My name is Amtruje Pade.
Yes, proceed. We are not hearing you.
I'm called Truje Pade from Kwan Industries,
Hello?
Operation Support Manager, presenting Babok.
Hello? Yes,
I'm
yes,
called,
please proceed.
I'm called Truje Pade from Kwan Industries, presenting Mr. Babok.
You're most welcome. Can I have Colin? Colin, please introduce
Hello.
yourself. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm called Colin Julian Yek from Japotech Solutions.
You are most welcome. Mohammed.
Yeah, hello, good morning, panelists and participants. I'm Mohamed Mpezamhigo. I'm the Vice Chancellor of Kampala International University, the gold winner of the Export 2019 for the education sector. Thank you for the invitation.
You are most welcome. Nicholas.
Good morning. Nicholas Cafero, and I fight for the association.
Nicholas, you are not very clear.
Good morning.
Yes.
Nicholas Cafero, Uganda Fight Forwarders Association.
Right, you're most welcome. Wilson.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Wilson Kutegeka from Clinic Master International. We develop software for hospitals and clinics. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Zulfa. Zulfa, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning, everyone. My name is Zulfa Namialo. I'm in business development, working with Mayfair Insurance Company. Thank you for the invitation.
Most welcome. Resty. Resty, are you there? Resty, are you there? I will request Businje to mute. There's a, I'm not reading this name, I'm only seeing the initials NA. Hello.
Hello, I'm called Nancy Ashava. I work with UAP Old Mutual Insurance Uganda. Thanks for that invite.
You're most welcome. Patrick.
Good morning. My name is Patrick Kagenda from Alliance for Trade and Information Services. Thank you.
It was there.
Yes, Joseph.
You want to watch it,
Joseph, please. Joseph, are you there?
Yes.
They were saying that I mute, I sing initial.
The Rabogo team, can you please mute? Proceed. Joseph, are you there?
Yes, please.
Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Joseph Nsobuga, and I work with
No, if they say mute, what do I do?
You're welcome.
I don't know anything.
Can you, the Rabogo team, can you mute there, please? All right, good. Paul?
Yeah, good morning. My name is Paul Onek.
No, you will not talk.
It's too much noise.
No, here.
Yeah.
Hello. The Rabogo team, can you please? Okay, yes, Paul, proceed.
Yes, Paul Onek from Japotech Solutions, and we give you the best internet connectivity. And we have also just launched our new mobile app called Find Uber for real estate management. Thank you.
Most welcome. Isaac? Isaac, are you there?
Yes. Yeah, yes. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity and for the invite. My name's Isaac Neuveld, and I work with Neuveld, a media and software company based out in Mukono. We give the best websites and also digital marketing solutions to companies big and small. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
You're most welcome. James? James, are you there? James, are you there? Okay, James so to be on. Okay, Doreen? Doreen, are you there? Doreen, are you there? Doreen, are you there? Okay, let's as we wait for Doreen, let's Samuel, can you introduce yourself?
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Samuel Kalia. I'm a Trade Information Executive Services at Uganda Export Promotion Board.
James? James, are you there?
And mute me.
James, are you there? James, are you there? Okay, Douglas, can you proceed?
Yes, I can hear.
Yes, please introduce yourself. Douglas, please proceed and introduce yourself.
I'm Douglas Mwamanya.
Yes, Douglas, you're from which institution?
From UGACOF. I work with UGACOF.
Oh, you're most welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I can see Stella, can you introduce yourself? Stella, are you there?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Stella Makiba. I'm the Services Exports Marketing Executive. You're welcome.
Brenda?
Good morning, everyone. You're welcome to our workshop today. My name is Brenda Katerikawe Opus, and I work as a Senior Export Marketing Executive in Export Promotion Board. Thank you.
Welcome. Rest, are you there? Rest, are you there? Okay, as we wait for the others, let's, I think, proceed. We are done with our introduction. At this material time, allow me invite the Executive Director, Uganda Export Promotion Board, to introduce himself and give us opening remarks. And thereafter, request him to give us a presentation on marketing of services globally. Executive Director, are you there? Hello, Edie. Yes, you're welcome, Edie.
Thank you. Let me just share the video. Morning, ladies and gentlemen, and let me take this opportunity to welcome you to this meeting on service exports. Like I said yesterday to associations involved in service production and marketing, services are so important for this country that they account for more than 40% of GDP, and that's too big. The composition of GDP is 100%, and services are taking more than 40%, 43 sometimes, which is so big. Therefore, if services are important, then we should export them. The government has emphasized the importance of import replacement, import substitution, and export promotion. So when we talk of export promotion, we are not only talking about merchandise exports, which means commodities. We are also talking about services. As you know, globally, we have three movements. The first movement is of money. Unfortunately, money buys money, and the flows through stock exchanges, through all those platforms, the movement of money is big. It is followed by services, and the last one is merchandise trade. Merchandise meaning commodities. So services are number two globally in traded across tables and across borders. So we need to step up our game. We need to export more. It is important, as we shall hear presenters, the issues of image, the issues of reputation, the issues of branding, the issues of having the professionals that are well trained to deliver your services. So today, we look at, with you companies, we look at what we can do to market services globally. And as we end, I urge you that we need to market services the way we have been marketing commodities. Let me mention this, that services, when you look at statistics from TradeMap and statistics from Bank of Uganda, some of them estimates, we can see that services for the last 5 years have brought in anywhere between 1.6 and 2.5, some figures even show 0.9 billion US dollars. That's big money, but we need to double, we need to triple that. But we can say that tourism alone brings in 1.3 billion US dollars in the last 5 years each year. But we see remittances have been bringing in also the same amount of money. We have a challenge now with the remittances because, again, COVID brought problems. People are not working. The remittances is the money we get from our brothers and sisters who are working outside of this country. So we need to work hard. We need to fill the gaps, and I think and hope that today's sessions will help us understand how to market more. I wish to welcome you to this meeting and declare it open. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Edie. At this time, would you please take us through the presentation you have for us on the marketing of services exports globally?
I hope you can see the screen.
Yes, it's visible now.
It doesn't seem to be moving. Okay, it moves. Again, morning, ladies and gentlemen. We need to market services. It is paramount that we market services the way we are marketing for Uganda used to market mainly commodities which we called cash crops. These were commodities of agricultural nature and they were called cash crops. We have graduated to marketing many products, commodities from mining, from agriculture, from manufacturing. And this is important. And now we are moving to marketing services. And this should be exciting because then we need to make more money from services like other countries are doing. Before that, I have to do branding requirements. That Uganda Export Promotion Board is one of the oldest organizations in Uganda of a government agency that was established in 1969 under different names. And in 1996, it became Uganda Export Promotion Board. It was originally called Uganda Export Promotion Council, given more duties to facilitate the development, promotion, and coordination of all export-related activities that lead to export growth on a sustainable basis. Our role involves promotion of service exports and promotion merchandise exports. With the functions provide trade information, the development of exports, trade promotion activities. Some of your companies, we have gone together to trade fairs, to buyer-seller meetings in different places, and some of you have been able to get clients and are making money, which is good because private sector is supposed to make money so that they can pay taxes, so that they can pay my salary to be an export advisor. But also, we provide customized advisor services in various areas of logistics, of packaging, of handling, of documentation, of time management, of contracting, different areas. And that's why we are called export advisors. We don't own any company, we don't own any products, we don't trade, you do. The last, also very important function of Uganda Export Promotion Board is to recommend to government export plans, policies, and strategies with a view to creating an enabling environment for you to export. So we look at non-trade barriers and other trade barriers, and we go to government so that they can remove them. So we also play an advocacy role, like your associations. Service I have already told you that the service sector is accounting for more than 40% of GDP in the last, I think, more than 3 years. And I've already talked about remittances, I've already talked about tourism, but then we look at other services and different statistics give us different figures, but you can see that total exports between 2015 and 2020 has been anywhere between, like I said, 1.6 billion US dollars to even some figures show that it is even 2.9. That's not bad. That's not bad. I can tell you there are some countries that export all their total exports is less than 2.5 billion US dollars. But Uganda is a country that is focused on achieving higher heights and higher lights. And if we have to do middle income status, even in the next 5 years, we need to export more. On your screen, you can see some of the different products, services that we export in million US dollars. Different travel, transport, construction, insurance, professional services, including personal, cultural, and even recreation services. You have people like Salvador, you have people like Anna Kansime, you have people like Tichampande. Was told last year that Kansime every month gets over $2,000 US from YouTube, which is, even if she did nothing, that money will keep coming. So these are opportunities. And you know, under that section of personal, culture, and recreation services, Nigeria is making a lot of money. You have music, you have what we call Nigeria, the Nigerian movies, they are dominating everywhere. Why not do it? You have Uganda becoming Wakanda, you have the last King of Scotland, you have Uganda, and we need to work on that, and we need to work with the government on taxes, because I have been able to talk to people involved in videography and cinema, and they feel that Uganda taxes them a lot when they try to come and film from here. And you know, sometimes they film from South Africa, and then they say they filmed from Uganda, because I'm told we need to work on our taxes and make money. Yeah, those are some of the services. Again, on your screen, I have talked about, maybe again, summarized that way. We need to do a lot, and Uganda has got opportunities because we have good education based on the the UK system of education, and we can speak better English than the Indians, but also we have good doctors who are working everywhere. We have good scientists, we have professors, we have good bankers, we have lawyers, we have auditors, we have all these consultants, and we can do better. And that leads me to the opportunities that you have before I come to tell you how you can market. There are opportunities on tourism, in tourism, and we know flora and fauna, a lot of birds, a lot of gorillas, we have pangolins, we have almost every animal, we have almost every tree, we have every bird, but also we have religious tourism, we have cultural tourism, we have some old buildings, but we have to work on them. We have old kingdoms. I was told that before colonialism, Uganda had a city bigger than London, and that city was in the current town of Mbarara. Actually, I think around if anyone knows the new bypass in Mbarara, I'm told around there that there was a city down there which was bigger than the city of London. So we have all these things to promote. When you go to China, they show you this, they show you the Great Wall. So we have a lot that we can promote in terms of having cottages, in terms of having roadside stopovers for people, in terms of food, in terms of handicrafts. But also we have education, and I already talked about education, and our universities are doing very well. And yesterday I told you that in addition to the traditional university, Makerere being one of the best universities, we have KIU, and being number one in attracting exports in services, in education, followed by Indege. But I also know that MUBS is trying, and the other universities. Yeah, like Dr. Mpezamigo told you, they are winners of the best exporter of education services. And Ishara, when COVID ends, because I pray that COVID ends, then we can see them expanding. And they are in other countries also in the region. ICT, we have been working with the International Trade Center and the associations in ICT, and we can do a lot. I already told you we speak better English than the Indians, so the Caribbean and the other people whom I know are involved in this, you know, we can speak better English than the Indians, so why are they taking our business? Freight and logistics, Uganda is becoming the logistics hub. I am so happy, and we appreciate the support from Trademark East Africa with regard to establishing the logistics hub in northern Uganda, Guru Elegu towards South Sudan, and the promises of establishing one logistics hub in Jinja, and all the efforts of one-stop border posts, which in Busia, towards Rwanda. And please remember these one-stop border posts, when goods move, also documentation moves, for services move. So there is a combination, even when you export to commodities, merchandise trade, again, you see services are moving alongside the goods. Media and entertainment, I've told you about the issue of music, film, audio, video, very important, comedy, and I've told you we need to work on our taxes. You know, the annual Nyege is exciting, but we need to do more. Professional services, again, I've talked about professional services. We have, Uganda doesn't only have these people, the so-called whom you derogatorily are called Cheyo. We no longer have more Cheyo, we have more of professionals in different countries earning us remittances. And I observed it when I attended the Uganda Convention twice in United Arab Emirates and in the UK. And I realized how many professionals we have, and this is important for us. There are more other opportunities that you know that we don't know of. Let's share them and work together to market them. Marketing services is not as simple as marketing products, as you know. Your companies and you are involved. You need to do more than somebody who produces a product. Somebody who has done a very good job and got a prototype of a product and tested it maybe at a trade fair or using some different form of testing it, and receives comments from the potential buyers or the actual buyers, then we'll produce a good product which you can smell, which you can touch, which you can feel. This is not true with services. Touch them, you can't feel them, you can't smell them, you can't see them. And that has implications for marketing services. And as we see, then you need the importance of branding the services, the importance of image itself, the importance of reputation. So when you are marketing services, company and the people marketing services, your staff, are not, you don't separate them from the offering, offerings that you give to the clients. Let me give an example of a haircut. To this guy and that's your hair, and he's proud that he has done even the best, and even he takes a picture or a photo of your head and hangs it in his barber shop, and everyone who comes says, I can cut your hair like I did to this celebrity here. We want it and say, cut me like that. But you the person whose hair has it, you look at yourself in the mirror, you go home and you go to another barber shop and say, cut it all off. I did not like it. What are we saying? That for the service, your professionals must offer that service the way the customer wants it. But there is another angle, is that service professionals must advise the clients, the service consumers, they should enjoy this service, what is better for them, without taking away the rights of the consumer to choose what he likes. I don't think any consumer of services wants a poor service. He's also looking for a good service. So reputation, image, branding, association, professionalism of your people, but these days also use of ICT, of IT, but also referrals. These are very, very important even when you are exporting services, and I'm sure you have been doing it even when you are not exporting services. Those are keys. Service characteristics make them completely unique from products. I already told you they are intangible. They are inseparable. You can't separate consumption and production, but also you can't separate the one giving it and the one consuming it. And that's why sometimes service providers, the professionals are called co-consumers and co-producers. And again, please remember the bad experience you had when you entered the restaurant and you never got a good service and you never go back. And the service, you always offer the same service, however standardized, however ISO you have, becomes very difficult because of the aspect of variability. Again, if I use the example of a barber shop or a restaurant, somebody who has served from morning up to 6 may not give the same service all the time. It varies sometimes depending on time, depending on location, depending on the circumstances, depending on the one offering the services, depending on the one consuming the service. So you have to be very careful that you have a package, and it is better that you have packages that you seem to standardize, but without leaving out the issue of uniqueness and customization. Services are very perishable. You go to over, you are waiting for Shaggy, who has come to sing his new song, and you paid the ticket, but you didn't go there on the day Shaggy came and asked if you went there the next day, and there is no Shaggy anymore, and you cannot enjoy the service. And because of that, you needed to have a way of making sure that those who come later could enjoy the service by such a things like recording. I am hoping that this seminar is being recorded so that those who are not around, we can give them the recordings so they can be able to follow. The other aspect is giving certificates. If somebody did a training, there is no way he can prove to you that he attended the training at KIU if he has no certificate. So you give them a certificate, which now they can show to their future employers, for example, that, you know, I finished this degree, I have this qualification. Maybe I'll end with the service ownership, that you cannot own the service because you can use the service and you cannot own it. But let me mention also a lot of governments, that while the role of marketing services, the role of producing services, the role of packaging services is by the private sector, by the companies, there is the role of the state. And the role of state is to give visibility, assurance, the imprimatur, the seal of approval to the companies. When you are going to market your products and you go to, say, Nigeria, if I talk about this, maybe Dr. Mpezamigo knows we have a big market of, even IU, a big market of people from Nigeria, students from Nigeria. In fact, the other day, I had our ambassador to all that region, Nigeria, Ghana, about 16 countries, Ambassador Nelson Ochegere, and we are discussing these things, how we can market and promote services, special education services to that region. And we talked about many things which will appear in our strategic plan, next 5 years strategic plan. The role of government will be giving you a seal of approval, that you go with government The government gives assurance of the neighboring environment for your services. The government gives assurance that Uganda is doing everything to have good trade and free trade, and that we are cooperating and that we are partners. So the role of the state is paramount, and we can jointly promote with you. Again, I go back to the importance of these key issues if you are going to market services. I hope that you can look at the screen. Branding is important again, image is important, reputation is important, associating is important, the role of IT. Let me give you the example of education. With COVID now, even Harvard has put over 90% of all its courses online. Harvard was one of those rigid universities who rigidly didn't want to put like degrees. They had other training courses, but not degrees online. London School of Economics, again, one of those good universities also, has also put their courses online. Almost all the universities now are putting their courses online. As a matter of fact, USA is beginning to discourage students from Africa and other places going to study in the US physically, that they can have these courses online. Never forget the importance of marketing services. In marketing, we call them the 7 Ps. The product is that service package. The place where you are going to promote this product, where you are going to exhibit this package. The price, how are you pricing your packages? The promotion. Your product. How are you distributing your products? Services, even the processes through which you deliver a product are very important. You can, if your services delay people, they move to another service provider. Physical evidence. If you go to a hospital, let it look like a hospital, not a mosque or a church. If you go to a school, let it look like a school, but not a mosque. I see many clinics and hospitals. The other day I was driving through one of these places and I saw that Believers Restaurant. Then in God we trust clinic. Again, names and branding are important. We chew, but God heals. You are scaring me. So even names are very, very important for you. Uganda Export Promotion Board has put efforts in place to ensure that we promote service exports, so that we promote exports, wholesome services and products. We already recruited 2 staff dedicated to promoting services, but in the coming year, we are also going to promote to recruit more staff, and we are also going to have regional offices in about 12 places. Where again we will promote not only commodities but services. We are preparing an exporter's handbook, and that is important. We already worked with the people in IT, with the International Trade Center to do marketing documents and strategies. We are undertaking export readiness assessment for SMEs to prepare them to export. We come to you, we assess you, we look at your level, and then begin working with you until you enter the market. We are training, and some of you have been trained. We have also trained officers of government, Minister of Foreign Affairs, especially those who are in our missions, so that they can be able to promote services. We thank the cooperation we have with the International Trade Center and other partners, and Minister of Foreign Affairs, and our mother ministry, our parent ministry, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, and our minister, that they have enabled us to, build the resilience and strengthening and are growing. We are lobbying Parliament and Minister of Finance to support us, because we request you to tell your members of Parliament that if we want the President to realize his strategy of import substitution to build export promotion, we will need a budget. We will need money to market Uganda. we will need the money to be present in markets, but also our missions need to be supported. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for listening to me, and we keep interacting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was a very good presentation. And the members should note that at the end of this training, we shall be sharing the presentation that we're having here today, including the recordings, because the number of things that is emerging out of this that we need to follow and share amongst ourselves, plus our other key stakeholders. So once again, thank you very much, Edie. For members, please, if you have any comment or any question, or you feel like you need to add to whatever has been presented, please, you are welcome. Now, at this material time, allow me invite Stella to give us a presentation on delivery of services globally. Stella, are you there?
Yes. Good morning.
Yes, Stella, you're welcome.
Am I clear?
Yes, yes, please proceed. Yes, Stella, proceed.
Yes, shortly. I'm trying to share my screen.
Stella, proceed.
Can everyone see the presentation?
Yes, we are seeing it. Just put it to full screen.
It's on full screen.
Yes, please.
Yeah, that is yours.
Yes. Okay, good morning once again. My name is Stella Aikoru Masiga, and I'll be taking you through delivery of services globally. That is the mod. But before we begin, I'd like to congratulate Japotech and 3D Services upon getting their ISO certification. That is quite a milestone. As at UEPB, we are very happy and glad, and we congratulate you again. For all the others that are partaking the same journey, we wish you all the best, and we're here to support you in the best way possible. Like I said, my name is Stella Aikoru Masiga, and I'll be taking you through delivery of services globally. And,
Stella,
yes?
just a minute. Stella, just a minute. At you giving us a different presentation, I expect you to give us delivery of services globally.
Yes, it is. It's the same.
What I'm seeing on the screen is bottlenecks of services export. Hello? And when you look that, you please ensure you blow it up, so that can you put it full screen? Yes.
Okay. I think there was a technical hitch, but we're good to go. Our content today will majorly focus on trading services. That is a general agreement on trade in services, modes of supply of services, global statistics by mode of supply, and the overall trade restriction with modes. GATS is a general agreement on trade in services, and it is a treaty that was created by WTO, which is World Trade Organization, to extend multilateral trading systems for services sector. And the goal was to remove or eliminate any tariff or non-tariff barriers that are affecting trade in services, because they already had a treaty on trade in products or merchandise, but services did not have. So this treaty came into play in 1995 after the Uruguay discussions. So the general agreement on trade in services defines services trade under four modes, which are the territorial presences of the different services that you offer. And the mode one under which GATS describes services is called cross-border supply. And cross-border supply quickly takes place when the service itself crosses the border from one country to another without movement of persons. That is from country A to country B, country A being Uganda and country B being a foreign country. And one of the clearest examples of this is management consultancies. Look at companies in Uganda doing work, doing consultancies, doing marketing research, and this is done either online or it's done on tele. Another example you can look at is health services. We have doctors who have patients out of the country, but they do this advice or they do the interchange through an online system, make it Zoom, just like how we are doing. Look at education and training. In Uganda, we have a university that is called Virtual University of Uganda, where everything is entirely done online, there is no movement of persons. That is one of the modes that services is being provided. There is someone on this platform, probably he'll want to talk about it later. He does all his work online and findings all online without even crossing the border. I believe he has even never seen his bosses or the people that are actually paying him for the service. Mode 2 is consumption abroad, and consumption abroad relates to services used by nationals of one country in another country. This clearly is the consumer travels to the country where the service is being provided. Look at tourism. We get so many tourists coming to the country. They bring the money into the country. So it is an inflow for us without anyone from Uganda or the service provider going to the country that he ought or he wants to provide the service to. Look at students coming in from Kenya, Tanzania, Sudan, DRC, Zambia into the country. They come and consume the service from here. Legal services, we have clients who come into the country, use the services of law firms and lawyers in our market without our service providers going the other side. Look at patients. We get so many patients from DRC, we get patients from Rwanda, we get patients from Sudan coming to consume the services from here. That is mode 2, consumption abroad, where the consumer comes here to consume the service. Mode 3 is commercial presence, which refers to instances where a company from one country sets up subsidiaries or branches to provide services in another country. You set up, you get all the legal documentation right in a different country, and you set up branches to serve clients there. For example, look at financial services. In Uganda, we have very many Kenyan banks, NC, SCB, they've all set up banks here. Look at ICEA, an insurance company, Kenyan, it sets up here. So that means that is commercial presence. Construction engineering, setting up project offices in a different country. We have a company, they're online, they're called Kaga. They have offices down south of Africa. So they serve countries like Zimbabwe, Mozambique, South Africa. They have their project offices set up there. Look at information technology, setting up offices in a foreign country to serve clients there. Distribution, we have a company here. It's also online. It's called Union. They have offices in China. They do logistics from there and countries surrounding. So whoever wants to transport goods from one country to another from China would quickly contact them. And these are purely Ugandan setup. Then mode 4 is movement of natural persons. Movement of natural persons refers to individuals traveling from their own country to supply services in another country. And in this event, these persons do not stay in this country for a very long time. They stay there for a period of time when they are supposed to provide the service. And case in point is the arts and culture. Look at our actors, our musicians going from here to Dubai. They normally stay there for 2 weeks and they do whatever they do and they come back. Architects going to do surveys in the country of demand. Education and training, we see some of our lecturers, some of our professionals and experts going from country A, which is Uganda, to country B, going to do trainings, going to do inspirational speeches, and they are paid good amount of money, and that is an inflow for us as a country. Look at recreational and sporting. We have our footballers who do not play soccer here. They play in a foreign country for a period of time, maybe for a season, and then they come back to their country of origin. Quickly, let's look at the global statistics by mode of supply, and these are provisions by WTO, preliminary. We can see this is provisioned by the different modes, mode 1, mode 2, mode 3, and mode 4. And we had said mode 1 is a cross-border supply, where the consumer is the other side, the service provider is here, and it's done online or done through tele. Mode 2 is consumption abroad, where the consumer comes to our market and consumes the service from here and goes back. Mode 3 is commercial presence, where a company sets up in a foreign country. Mode 4 is movement of natural persons temporarily. So if you look at the global statistics by mode of supply, we see that the highest mode of supply is mode 3, which is commercial presence, where a company sets up in a foreign market. And as Uganda, unfortunately, we do not have that statistic clearly focusing on Uganda alone, but we can see in East Africa, this is where we lie, the highest mode that we use is mode 3, where clients set up.
Stella, your network has gone off a bit. Stella? Stella, we are not seeing you. Members, sorry for that hiccup a bit, but let's sort it out urgently. We have lost Stella. Now, these are some of the challenges that we now have in the services exports and the new dynamics. Yes, Stella, are you in? Remember, sorry for that. Let's fix that and proceed. Yes, the members as propose is proposing that you will get to Japo Tech. They have good services. We shall look at that. Thank you for that information. Yes, Stella, are you there? Stella, are you there? I'm sorry for that. Let's fix that shortly and we'll continue. Okay, I have seen Patrick has made a proposal that we get to his presentation, then probably we can get back to Stella. Let me look at that option. Stella, are you there? Okay, I think for purposes of managing time, I think let me call on Patrick to take us through, then when Stella. Okay, I'm meant to understand in the next few seconds she will be done and then we continue. Otherwise, I was about to propose that Patrick picks it from there and then we shall get back to Stella. But she's saying in the next few seconds, she would be back. Sorry for that hiccup, members. But these are also now key learnings. We need to pick a few key learnings from that. Stella, are you done? Okay, so I think let's see, you will start from where you are. Let's get Patrick to. Patrick, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I think because of this hiccup this end, I propose that you start, and then Stella, once she's sorted, she will get back to us later. Okay, Patrick, proceed.
Okay, thank you very much, the organizers of this event. We really appreciate the Export Promotion Board. And I was given the topic on technology as an enabler in services export. It's unfortunate I start at a point where technology has kind of let down one of the presenters. I think in the barriers we should be able to have that conversation. But these are some of the things we do as artists, as an Alliance for Trade in Information Technology and Services. And we have a very ambitious vision that services we offer. I'm sorry, I'm struggling
to mute. Patrick, just hold on. Somebody needs to mute because there's a disruption. I'm not seeing who. Somebody needs to mute. There's some more disruption coming. Patrick, proceed.
Okay, I was saying that as artists, as an Alliance for Trade in Information Technology and Services, we want to push Uganda to be among the top 3 outsourcing destinations in the world. And from the ED yesterday and today and what we've been talking about, we have what it takes. It's just that we might be not organized ourselves to be in that position. And what we do as artists basically is we provide trade intelligence to our members. certainly working with Uganda Export Promotion Board. We also work to ensure that the organizations that we represent are ready to export, export readiness. Yesterday, we talked about the certifications, the ISO certifications, and today we have Japotech here, Clinic Master, and all these guys are fully ISO certified, and that is a drive among artist members to make sure that when we represent Uganda, we are not just doing it as a local market, but we are prepared for the export. We do a lot of business-to-business meetings as business promotions, and we've also been doing a lot on marketing and branding to ensure that what is coming out of Japotech or Clinic Master is not really a local brand, but it is an international solution. And then we do facilitate through export procedures, business in trade policies. So we work with the organizations that lead here to ensure that our companies are well represented. I also want to thank the Uganda Export Promotion Board at this point. I mean, a lot of lobbying has happened, and at least all the software that is now developed in Uganda is no longer attracting VAT, effective July 2020, and that's very good. It provides a little bit of more funds for us to do the work that we do. So yes, technology as an enabler, something that really makes it easy for a process to happen. And technology has made it easier. Today, I think, would be either in Hotel Africana or somewhere and having this meeting. Some of us would be apologizing on traffic jam, but here we are just limited by the people we invited. Would be having some people presenting from the US, some people presenting from UK, and the entire world in this forum. And that is what technology surely has presented, especially in this period of the pandemic. And I just remember last year when we had a very interesting event organized by artists, and Uganda Export Promotion Board was part of the panelists, and went into Hotel Africana, and that took some serious organizing. But look at where we are today. And we're saying this is basically the power of technology. And ladies and gentlemen, we need to be prepared. We need to ensure that the services that we're offering are technology driven, such that we're able to reach the multitudes. Like I've said, if we had chosen to have external facilitators in this, nobody was going to ask for an air ticket. So it would be cheaper for us this time to even trade with other organizations at this point. So that is how easy or how enabling technology would be making it easy for our services. Across the borders, we believe technology will continue to help us in mostly those 4 areas. Our online presence, the ED mentioned a lot on branding, on image, on testimonies about organizations. And we need to work on our online presence. When I go to the website under Uganda Tourism, if I'm to call it generally like that, and say, what do I get there? Do I get static images? Do I get interactive recordings? Do I get the virtual feeling of windy forest, right? Such that we are able to use technology to enhance our services. So our LinkedIn pages, our Twitter pages, all these platforms that we can use. The online transactions, all these e-sales, and we're saying these are things that we need to work on. I'm glad Uganda is among those countries that easily do the e-sales. And also in terms of ICT, intensive human capital, we are talking about, I mean, you had Japotech, Paul, I think it's Paul, who said that, you know what, a presenter shouldn't go offline, might be because of internet. So that people are already there to help and to make sure that we are able to continue. Japotech actually provides internet to the office that I'm seated in. So once it breaks off, please talk to Paul. So the online collaboration tools, we are now on this Zoom platform, and the options are limitless. You can imagine if somebody now was in sorry to mention windy again, I mean windy deep there, and much as it's impenetrable, but if the internet is able to penetrate it and you're able to get a real feeling and share with the world what is happening in tourism, you're able to do the transport part of it, and you're able to track your tracks. You're able to do telemedicine, you know, all the things we say we can do business across borders. And here we're saying as IT as the enabler. Now, when you look at the list of services, I had to really reduce my slides because most of the work, most of the items were talked about by the ED. When you look at the list of services, and then we talk of, we can have this, like I said, digitized can easily be enabled by technology. The creative works that we've been talking about, he loves the Kansime example as the ED, and indeed, all that can now be, you can choose either to hit the gates of the concert, or you can have it done online. And then the value addition to knowledge. I mean, we had somebody from KIU and the great testimony they have. I mean, we can have all these platforms. We can have people, students or undergraduates register online. We can now even talk about the assessments online. We can have the lectures online. I mean, it's a whole opportunity that has happened even in this, that was like a disaster. There's always an opportunity in disasters. So the issue of quality assurance, you can have a team in South Africa, a team in the US, and you're all working on the same project because technology anyway allows you to do that. Many times you want to have these conferences, you have to bring in people from various spaces, and you're able to do this again, as I can emphasize again, technology being able to guide you on that. So when we look at the services we talked about, I could actually run through all that I listed, and you find that there is an opportunity of technology being an enabler in that. I've already talked about education. I mean, you can have your online classes, you can have basically all the whole value chain, if I'm to call it, of education, from the point a student is registering online, to validating the academic papers, to providing education online, to now I even have testimonies in my house. I mean, I have a young lady that was supposed to go to Nairobi. Unfortunately, here I was importing a service, and that didn't happen because of COVID. But now, as I speak, she's in her second semester, and she's doing all this stuff online. So our universities should be prepared for online courses and be able to promote our education to other levels. In terms of health, we've already talked about it. We have the clinic masters who are selling beyond the borders here, and we should be able to provide both the telemedicine or the softwares that are able to handle that. In terms of the insurance, as you can imagine, you travel into another country, you've gone with a piece of paper as your insurance card cover. You reach there, maybe you could lose it. There would be platforms that enable the insurance companies in Uganda to give us an e-insurance ticket, such that once I reach there, I just show them my phone, and they're able to trace and see that actually the technology has embedded the whole insurance part of it. Transport and logistics, this has really been historical, enabled by technology. You're able to trace your vehicles, you're able to trace your parcels, you're able to know the consumption as the trucks are moving. So a lot of stuff is in there. I can continue talking about all those areas, right? Tourism, I've cited construction. certainly here we need to send guys if it's a physical construction, but imagine in terms of the 3D presentation, in terms of the sending out the architecture plans, all these are now available and able to happen through technology. Financial services, wow, that is the biggest beneficiary of technology. Talk about it locally here in Uganda, the mobile, the cashless economy part of it in terms of mobile money and other services. That's so great, and be able to export these services. In terms of recreation, we've talked about, I mean, many people go to YouTube and all these areas and they're able to download our artists, and this is so amazing. Professional services, for sure, we can't stop on that. All these have interesting examples that we can look at. When we look at the professional services we are offering outside the country, I mean, we've never traveled to some of these countries. Last week, I was having a conversation with a team in Malawi. And I mean, all they said is, you guys, let's have a video conference. We did this. And then they said, record the demonstration of the system. We recorded and sent it. And guess what? Next week, we'll be having an export into Malawi. I've never gone to Malawi. But we'll have because of IT, that contract is possible, and we'll be able to deliver that contract fully without physically going to those countries. Government services, whether you are outside of this country, you are able to log in. Your entries might be in the customs system. You're able to pay your taxes online. You're able to apply for now. I even seen the NIRA guys are online, so you can have all these services. And this is because we have accepted and now a little bit pushed to ensure that IT is becoming an enabler in all that we're doing. So when it comes to IT and IT-enabled services, well, that is inherent, that most of these services have been using IT as a vehicle because they are IT-based. But even those that weren't for basically in IT, we have had conversations, and those are the ones that should be able to work with IT as our enabler. So, ladies and gentlemen, I thought I would highlight those because most of the issues were really in the presentations before, but really to emphasize that this is the time and this is the season where IT is typically an enabler in all of what we'll be doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Patrick. That was a very big eye-opener and very interesting and motivating as well. I think if I just do a brief pickup from what Patrick said, I am picking up, but probably this we shall ask. Services export is what we are talking about. But as we talk of services export, I think we shall also need to see what are these other services that we need to provide to the services exporters to enable them export more. That's a discussion we shall have. Then not everybody who is in the services sector actually may understand what technology can help him or her do more. So I think a time is coming when the other services provider and technology providers or programmers need to come out and actually show or put out what they can do for the others to enable them move. So thank you very much, Patrick. At this time, can I ask Stella to wind up on what she was presenting, and then we get to our next activity. Stella, are you there?
Yes. Loud and clear.
Yes, can you, you were towards your conclusion. Can you do that quickly? Full screen? Take us to full screen and proceed.
Okay, now?
Yes.
Sorry about the technical hitch. It happens in technology. Well, I was taking us through the global statistics by mode of supply, and I'd taken us through mode 1, mode 2, mode 3, and mode 4. And we realized that Uganda falls right here in Eastern Africa. And the best mode that we use is mode 3, which is commercial presence, followed by mode 1, which is cross-border supply, then mode 2, which is consumption abroad, and mode 4, which is movement of natural persons. But from the diagram you can see here, the best mode or the most reliable mode for all countries is mode 3, which is commercial presence, followed by mode 2, which is consumption abroad. So when you're doing your services supply, keep in mind some of these trends as per the global statistics provided by WTO. Here we are looking at global statistics by mode of supply, and we are looking at imports and exports. If you look at exports from Eastern Africa, we do, For exports, we do more of with mode 1, we supply an average of over 30% in mode 1, which is cross-border supply. And then imports in East Africa, more of it is above 20%. If you see imports and exports of services by mode 1. Then I proceeded to look at the overall services trade restrictions in selected countries by modes of supply and service type. Mode 1, we said, is cross-border supply, and mode 3 is commercial presence. And we see that Thailand has the highest restriction, and it's majorly in banking, followed by Argentina. Still banking is the highest restriction of mode 1. Followed by China. Actually, China is the second, followed by Argentina. And then mode 3, which is commercial presence, the highest is in India. They have the highest restriction of accepting companies to set up in their country. And this is still more in banking and transportation. So if you're in banking, if you're in transportation, and you want to set up, you want to do commercial presence in India, the tariff or non-tariff barriers will be quite high. So this table clearly shows you, in the event you want to venture into these markets, you see the level of restriction by entry mode and by service type. That was it for my presentation. In case of any questions, I'm available. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Stella, for wrapping up that. We are doing badly on time, but I think at this material time, can I ask Brenda to come in and take us through bottlenecks of services export? And thereafter, we shall go to our question and answer session. And I request members to post their questions so that we can fast track the discussion. Yes, Brenda, are you there? Okay, so as we wait for Brenda, I'm just trying to pick up from what Patrick put forward, and I think it is an area that we need to have a lot of discussions, and I'm expecting the Q&A section to be actually full. We need to look at a number of things that we need to do, and from my side, I picked what are the other, as I said here, you see, we are exporting services, but the services we are exporting, we can also use it to support other service exporters, because not everybody who is exporting services is conversant with the services that are there to support them. So it is an area that I strongly believe we need to have discussions on. Yes, Brenda, you are on. Can you now take us through? But as you take us through, please put the presentation on full screen. Brenda, you are muted. Yes. Can you put it, your presentation full screen and proceed? Brenda, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Yes, proceed. Put your presentation on full screen and then proceed. Yeah. Brenda, are you there?
Yes, Michael, I am on. Just give me a minute. I put my full screen.
Brenda, time. Yeah, just put this full screen and then proceed.
Yeah, I think Brenda should go back to the slideshow and run the screen. She was there, but she didn't click run from the beginning.
Brenda. Yes. All right, thank you. Okay, Brenda, be time conscious.
Okay, my presentation is quite short. I hope you can all see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Oh, yes, it's visible.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Good morning. My names are Brenda Opus, and I'll just take you through the bottlenecks of service exports. The morning presentations detailed out service exports and some of the ways we are actually trying to export services. But like any other business, service exports also has its bottlenecks. Now I have summarized them. I've highlighted the bottlenecks, and these bottlenecks basically are based on what we have learned from some of you, but also from what we have learned from benchmarking with other countries. Now, specifically, I'll start with the first one, which cuts across all the presentations we've had yesterday and today. And this really affects us right from the basics of doing our business. And that is lack of services, statistics, service export statistics. As Patrick was presenting, he mentioned something that we've been able to achieve on your software, something to do with taxes, no VAT on software for the local developed software. Now, this is not out of anywhere else, but some of what you've been able to prove to government. Now, for us to be able to prove that we need certain policies, we need certain strategies, we need to do plans, government needs to hear from you. But unfortunately, we have continued to have issues with getting information from the different businesses or associations. I'll give an example. When we go for trade fairs, when we take you out to trade missions, we get there, you meet buyers, you know, there's good business that goes on. Then when we get back here and we're asking you, so how did things go? How things went well, we're trying to do this and that verbally. So we ask you, please send us reports about what you have done. And all of you go silent. So we get stuck. Now the minister is saying, Export Promotion Board, what are you doing on services? Then we knock at your doors and say, tell us, you know, the developments about what happened in this trade mission and so on. And nobody wants to get back to us. Then 2 months later, another trade fair comes up and you're knocking at our doors. Now this becomes so difficult for us to facilitate you, because whereas we try to work with you, you're not working with us. Every end of trade fair, we send out a small questionnaire. And what are we asking for basically is the basic information about how the activity was carried out and how you benefited from it. Because it is this information that builds our statistics. It's this information that builds the different interventions that we come up with to support you. So my call out here is that one of the proposed interventions is that we work together to actually build this information, these statistics that we need for our different institutions to perform well. So that's a big bottleneck and it cuts across at all the levels. So with your companies, with your associations, we want to call upon you to come together so that we capture the specifics, the details of our statistics. Another bottleneck that we have observed and you fully appreciate is the inadequacy in our skills. As Patrick was speaking about technology and how it has changed the way we do business, in my mind I was thinking, so which skills are required where and how can we be able to match them? So with all these changes that are happening as we do our export of services, we need to ensure that we have the right skills in place. We need to ensure that the people we are taking around or talking to or working with have what it takes. The ED gave an example of the hotels and restaurants and so on, the kind of services we get in there. We have issues of how we use telephones. Now we are using Zoom meetings and so on, how our different people present. All these are some of the soft skills that we need to pay attention to. So training by UPB, training by associations, training by partners, ITCs in this country, working closely with us on the IT and IT-enabled services. Now, these are some of the interventions that will help us sort out some of these bottlenecks. The limited available market information on available clients abroad. Now, this is quite a broad area. It's quite dynamic. There's no fixed way to actually get a buyer. But there are different institutions like ourselves, like the foreign missions, like development partners, where you can be able to get some information. But you can get information, market information from different people, referrals, your friends, your peers, and so on. So we are limited because we don't go out to find it. But the structured information that we probably need, we need to do more as government institutions. And one of the ways Export Promotion Board is trying to work on this is presence in the markets, because we believe that once we are there, we know what information to look for. And since we are in touch with you, we'll be able to do better on that area. The other issue is on the aspect of stringent regulations and policies in importing countries. Whereas this affects us a great deal, we're a bit limited in what we can do as companies, but we have the government to support us. And a lot of negotiations go on between governments, and we're able to come up with different agreements which help our businesses do better in some of those markets. Another bottleneck is the absence of strategies and plans. Now, apart from IT and IT-enabled services, most of our service exports sectors do not have proper export strategies. Now, this is something we are working on. In the next 5 years, we should have at least a strategy for all our different sectors that we are prioritizing as an institution. Stiff competition, this one, we can talk about it forever, but what we have to do here is really lift our game, up our game, but also government has come in with local content bill, which I'm sure if we organize ourselves as sectors, we should be able to take full charge and be participatory in some of those big bids. Bank failures to understand the service export sector. This is being worked on. I'm sure since it's also a service, they are working at engaging as many service exporters as possible so that they actually package the product that will meet your needs. We never used to have proper products for agriculture, but as I speak, most of the banks actually have developed different products for agriculture. Stringent market requirements like quality management standards, capacity, maturity, model integration. Now, these are different depending on the market that you are targeting. So you have to be prepared. Patrick, as he spoke, in ATIS, some of their members have already gotten some of these standards. So you need to talk to each other and see. But as government, that is also something we are considering. But as you appreciate, service exports is still very new. We still need to do a lot in that area. So that was it. Sorry, no, there's one more. High operation costs. This, you all know what it takes to actually put some of your services onto international markets. So here, depending on what the issue is, we will try to engage different stakeholders. Access to government tenders, I've spoken about it, country of origin effect. Now this, I would like to just speak a little more about it. The lack of confidence of Ugandan services offerings due to no certification. Like we have mentioned, apart from certification, how do you present yourself, okay, in the markets out there, so that you are able to build confidence, the branding and marketing of yourselves and what it is that you can actually offer. Because sometimes you have a really good product, but you lack the confidence to put it out there for people to consume. So we need to be able to brand and market ourselves properly. And Export Promotion Board is one of the institutions that works with you to try and improve you in this area. Past experience, especially on failures to fulfill contracts offered by Ugandans. This is really painful. A company goes out, gets orders, and is excited about it. But because they didn't plan, they didn't organize themselves, they didn't, consult their associations and their peers, they get to start this order, and midway, it's cancelled. Why? Because of lack of capacity. Now, we shouldn't be having this. Now, this is very so my request is that associations should be the place to run to when you have such issues. So please, when you get orders in exports, we encourage you that don't look at yourself as a competitor of a fellow company in the same sector. In exports, the market is large, both products and services. So you need to work together to ensure that you meet some of those orders. So I think, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Given the time, Michael, you can take over. Thank you so much for listening.
Right. Thank you very much, Brenda. That was a mouthful and very interesting. A number of interesting things have been discussed today, and we need to see how we consolidate all this and take ourselves to the next level. Now, at this material time, we are at the question and answer session. And so far, I am only seeing one question. Ronald said, I feel there is a mismatch between Uganda Tourism Board and Export Promotion Board. I therefore wish to suggest that there is a need to bridge the gap of promoting the services of Uganda. And probably I would call Edie to make a comment on that. The other one is when I look at the chart, oh, my network. Stephen. Stephen. Oh. Stephen.
Brenda is off.
I am off.
Maybe you're using the same link.
I am off. Oh. Yeah, sorry for the hiccup. So we are going to the question and answer session. And if you members have any other questions, please post them and we discuss. But as I said, Ronnie had raised the issue of Rwanda, and Edie, if you are there, please, I would want you to make a comment on that. Yes, Edie, are you there? Edie, are you there?
Ask your question, Zee.
Ronnie put a comment about Rwanda. He says, I feel there is a mismatch between you. The question, his feeling is, he feels there is a mismatch between Uganda Tourism Board and Export Board. I therefore wish to suggest that there is a need to bridge the gap of promoting services of Uganda. Do you have anything to comment on that?
Uganda Tourism Board was created recently, having realized, and I can tell you that most countries have a tourism board, because of the uniqueness of building a brand of a country, because of the uniqueness of marketing tourism services, because of the uniqueness of promoting a country as a tourism destination. The government felt that there was need to pull out the service of tourism and give it to an agency to market it. Uganda Export Promotion Board is the specialized exports marketing agency of this country, and we work very well with the UTB, Uganda Tourism Board, to market both exports and tourism products. When you check in the NDP 3, National Development Plan 3, wherever tourism appears, Uganda Export Promotion Board has also been put there. So Uganda Tourism Board will be working with Uganda Tourism Board will be working with Uganda Export Promotion Board to do promotions. Whenever there is a tourism fair or event in South Africa, in Germany, in China, wherever, Uganda Export Promotion Board will be displaying. We'll be having a stand with UTB promoting Uganda. And this we have been doing also in different places. Wherever now we go with tourism, even when the event is not a tourism event, because then we promote tourism as one of the exports, service exports. And there is no mismatch at all. It is the practice. Most countries do it. The issue is that you don't want tourism services, tourism promotion to be submerged under other services, bearing in mind that most also other countries that are not yet very developed, services are lumped together, are promoted and marketed as services. And as you know, we have services. And so, but once we have developed, maybe things will be different.
Thank you very much, Edie. Probably just to add to that, you see, tourism is a number of these institutions are on development. Now, the promotion component, that's where now UEPB comes in. So thank you very much. Now, Edie, there's again another comment that came from Paul. Paul says one of the IT services destination is Rwanda. What is government doing to normalize the diplomatic relation with Rwanda? Oh, Edie, unmute.
Paul, let me make this disclaimer very fast so that I don't lose my job. I am not. I speak for Uganda Export Promotion Board. I am not a spokesperson of the government of Uganda. So whatever I'll be telling you will be on Uganda, what Uganda Export Promotion Board thinks should be done, or what efforts we have been doing to ensure that we can again access this market. We have been following closely the activities of government and the meetings of government, trying to work with the government of Rwanda to open the borders and to promote trade, and that effort will ultimately pay. Uganda Export Promotion Board has been taking your views to our Ministry of Trade, and actually to our Minister. Our Minister is very aware of the challenges that exporters are facing, trying to penetrate Rwanda. We know even not only services, but also commodities have been affected. But as you know, Rwanda is our neighbor and we are their neighbor. So what I can give you comfort that ultimately Uganda and Rwanda will trade again. In the interim, why don't we also keep diversifying our markets so that we have a bigger span of markets that we can penetrate. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Edie. Wilson has also put another question here, and Wilson is saying, are there any specific tailored, the statement is not clear, are there any specific tailored, I think we wanted to say, are there any specific tailored support for ICT export packages from UEPB that we should be able to associate with? For example, we are in eHealth. We sell HMIS, Health Management Information System, to hospitals and clinics. We would like to see how to work with the UEPB to grow our exports. That is what he has put forward.
And thank you for that. Like we had discussion yesterday with the associations, we gave them the roadmap for the next 5 years. We are prioritizing promotion of service exports, and Some of the activities that we are going to be involved in is export readiness and linking. Once we assess you and we find you are ready, we will be trying to link you to buyers. Currently, we are accessing information for commodities, for merchandise exports. We have paid to service providers who get us information on buyers and tenders. And we hope that the next 5 years we'll be doing that for services. The other aspect will be training. We will also be training you. The other aspect will be having a handbook, and hopefully this handbook will have specific subsectors and showing you how to do it. We will be taking you to promotion events, trade fairs, and other events to promote your products. And we will be working with you to see how you increase your reputation, your image, and your brand, which will enable you to go to these markets. But to be sure, we want to be doing a big job in preparing you to enter and penetrate markets. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Edie. I can see Mohammed Mahmoud, yes. Mohammed is saying, as you are aware, the presidential directive on opening of airports only allows tourists. International staff and students, especially finalists, are meant to resume studies on 15th October 2020. Is there any effort you could make to allow resumption of return of international students and staff to universities and other education institutions?
Mohammed okay, sure. Actually, that was clarified where Okecho, as the director for Trade Information and Export Promotion Board, will distribute to you the actual statement. That the statement was clarified, and therefore it is not only for tourists coming in and going out, because then how do you expect teachers who had gone abroad and students who are coming abroad and they're in their final years and they not come when the president has said finalists will be allowed, and who will teach them? Okay, so we'll get you information which can be distributed to the group on that clarification. There has been a clarification on that.
Thank you very much, Edie. We are coming to the end of our program for today, and we shall have another session tomorrow, which will start by 9, where we shall be having a presentation from Shippers Council on taking advantage of group dynamics to market and attract buyers. Then we shall also look at legal requirements to look out for in services export, which will be done by Uganda Registration Services Bureau. Then we shall have a presentation on what makes pricing of services exports different. And this will be done by Dr. Jerugaba from MUBS. On I'm sorry for the hiccup. What I'm saying is I'm requesting all of us to send your telephone numbers and emails on the chat. We need to refund your MBs. And also note that tomorrow we are starting by the same time by 9, and we shall be looking at how to take advantage of group dynamics to market and attract buyers. Then we shall also look at legal requirements to look out for in services export. This will be presented by Uganda Registration Services Bureau. And then we shall look at what makes pricing of services exports different, and therefore, what should we pay attention on? So thank you very much once again. I would probably want to call on the Executive Director to close the session. But before the Executive Director makes closing remarks, is there any other person who needs to make any other comment? Is there anybody who would want to make a comment?
Lawrence, there is something you had commented about what can we do to help the companies that are exporting services. I don't know whether.
Yes. Actually, you see, why? Yes, proceed.
Okay, quickly through some of the people who are attending here, gathered some of their input. The things that we talked about, like conducting digital audit on companies that offer services. We want to see how are their websites, are they interactive, are we able to communicate to people? Those are things that we can do with, as artists, we can do them with companies. Supporting on infrastructure. I mean, like today, if you have to say, maybe 3 presentations were interrupted out of 8, how can we make sure that tomorrow there is no interruption at all? Those are services we talk about. Somebody at Japotech mentioned that they can offer internet services or government. How can we make sure that you are pitching, you are selling your services, might be online and you don't break at the point of clicking the deal? Then at times having online templates for companies to use as maybe they prepare for the export of services. So somebody is accusing me that I didn't switch on my video. Sorry about that. So sorry about that, but that's okay. So online templates. For example, if I want to go to Nigeria, what sort of templates should I have to make sure that I'm able to export in that country? So assuming there's an online template whereby we are able to log in and then fill in all the requirements and have that matrix. Then there's something we also do, support the businesses with solutions like software as a service. Wilson was talking about Clinic Master. If you are a doctor and you want to offer your services, can you make sure that maybe you have a health record already of the clients in Uganda that maybe are going to India, or the ones in India coming to Uganda, whatever service, what we call as a software as a service. Those are the 5 areas we quickly picked on, but we can have a dialogue with all the exporters of services, and we see as IT or as IT-enabled services, what can we do together? And maybe since it is still on, I see he's recruiting people soon. Please, it's okay if we get an IT professional also added into those people to be recruited, such that you can also provide IT-enabled services and IT services to the companies that are exporting. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Patrick. These are very, very pertinent issues because, you know, we cannot take it for granted that if you look at all the services sectors for export, not everybody inside there is conversant. You know, most people are conversant with what they are doing, but there are some other things that they require, or they may not actually know that they require. So based on what Patrick has just put forward here, I think my call is, or the UEPB call is, let's say any of us, wherever you are, and you strongly feel you have either got a solution or you have something that you can do not just for exports, but to help others increase their exports, please come over to UEPB. Let's say work together and see how we can bring the others on board to take advantage of your capabilities. Thank you very much. I think at that point, I can now call on the ED to close the session. Yes, Patrick, you want to say something? Hello? ED, are you there?
I thought Patrick's words were like closing remarks because I think we better capture what Patrick has said as UEPB and look at them. I thought Patrick's were like closing remarks. Those areas are very, very important that we look at. And my team will be coming to you. There are different companies that you can reach, but also in your associations to concisely discuss what we should do over the next 5 years, which is like a template, which is like a work plan. And I want that we say this year we shall do so much, this year we'll do so much, another year we'll do so much until the end of NDP3. So that then at the end of the day, we achieve together. We should be able to create an enabling environment. We should be able to do the imprimatur, the seal of approval. And we should be able, and if you know something that we don't know, please let's share it and just use it to build the exports sector, especially in services. Again, services by subsectors. So we need again to go to subsectors and look at all these. I want to thank you for coming. I want to thank you for your attention, for your commitment, but also that you are doing a good job because you are doing businesses, you are selling products and services, and you are paying taxes, and me and Dr. are getting a salary, so we should be clapping for you. Thank you. I declare this
thank you.
Session closed.
Thank you very much. For the others, please, as I asked earlier, please post your telephone numbers and email addresses. We shall need to get in touch with you in relation to looking at the MBs and those related things. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow, same time. Oh, there's one comment here. Thank you, moderator. I like your last remarks on suggestions for what can help other exporters excel. And I would like to hint on the branding and digital marketing presentation. Even as we attend this session, also presentation should look very attractive. Noted by Isaac. Let's have a discussion on that tomorrow. Okay, see you members tomorrow. Thank you very much.